Okay, alright. Nice. And a 1, and a 2, and a 1, 2, 3. Happy Friday! Welcome back to another Zip Productions video. My name is TJ Ferralis. Let's talk. With the rising popularity of the internet, there's been a similar rise in what's called clickbait. Whether you're just looking for an article online or just browsing YouTube, it's pretty much inescapable nowadays. So what is clickbait? Is it wrong? Does it bother you? Should you even care? That's right, you saw the title. You saw the thumbnail. This is real talk. Clickbait on the internet is content, especially that of a sensual or provocative nature, whose main purpose is to attract attention and draw visitors to a particular web page. Now, the way I would define clickbait is any means of aggressively attracting viewers. So one form of clickbait is basically using dishonest means to attract viewers, whether it's a misleading title or misleading thumbnail. People view this as a problem that's plaguing the internet. I have a different view on this. When the internet really started to boom, there was a plague of pop-ups that would advertise things like, "Congratulations, you just won free iPod Nanos for life," or something like that, or "Congratulations, you just won a free Xbox." You would click the link, give your information, or do a survey or something, and your computer would be destroyed. After a while, people started noticing, oh yeah, that's totally a scam. Whenever they would see an ad that would say, "You just want a free anything," people just learned to ignore that. I think what we're seeing right now is a form of clickbait where people really haven't adapted to the dishonesty. Now, there's some ridiculous clickbaits out there. The reason why they do that is because it works. They put an attractive woman on the thumbnail of their video, and then they get views. It's a simple science, really. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. People have been saying, there's something really wrong with YouTube, how these clickbaits, these dishonest means of getting views is really messed up. If you think about YouTubers and what they do for a living is, they display ads or whatever means to acquire income. They do it through advertising their videos. The way they get your viewership is by creating enticing titles and enticing thumbnails. There's nothing wrong with that. If they decide to put an attractive woman on a thumbnail that's completely unrelated and you click it, that's on them and that's on you. If you expected to see an attractive woman in the video and you end up not seeing it, you're gonna be upset, you're gonna remember that, and the next time you see an attractive woman on a video, you may boycott that video. It's not just a win-win for these content creators. They know the consequences of having misleading titles, misleading thumbnails. There is a consequence to that. So I don't really view it as a problem. I just view it as a really aggressive strategy to get views. And if you think about what they do for a living, you can't blame them for that. There are things you can do if you don't like this type of thing. YouTube has a procedure for dealing with these types of things. You can flag the video for misleading titles or thumbnails. I don't know if that button does anything. I don't know if it's just a formality, but it is there, it does exist, and there is a procedure for it. So the number one thing that you can do to combat this type of clickbait is just don't fall for it. I think that what they're trying to do, they're playing with the gray areas of clickbait. There's being completely dishonest, having something completely unrelated in the title or thumbnail, and having a more interesting version of what could have been rephrased as boring. I'll give you an example. This is the thumbnail for my Death by Mad Libs video. If you watch the video, you know what the video is about. I could have titled it many different things. I could have put many different things on the thumbnail. It has all these pictures that I actually used in the video. In that regard, it's not dishonest. In terms of the title, one way to rephrase it and not be dishonest is Death by Mad Libs. If I put a bunch of things that are unrelated, never show up in the video, or if they do, it's unnoticeable or shows up for a very brief moment in time, and then I titled it How Mad Libs Ruined My Life, that would probably get way more views or be way more interesting than any title that I could have come up with, still being honest. Referring to my last point, there are consequences of using clickbait. So you can't blame anyone for using it because it's a strategy that has pros and cons like anything else. There's pros and cons of making honest thumbnails and honest titles. If I were just to be completely honest, I would just have a thumbnail, a random frame that YouTube has selected, and then title, "The Time I Got in Trouble in 6th Grade." That's not interesting. For some people, they think that all content creators should just spell out what they are trying to show other people. That's an unrealistic expectation. So in closing, I just want to say that for me personally, I'm not planning on using any thumbnails or titles that are misleading or any sort of clickbait type titles because, for one thing, YouTube is not my job. I don't make money off YouTube videos. I don't plan to. This is not a career path for me. It's something that I do for fun because I like making it. It's my hobby and I want to get better at making videos, so why not make it public? For those of you who are content creators and aspiring YouTubers, I can understand why you're upset, but just really take a look at the content. If they're using clickbait strategies to get more views, look at the content. Is the content good? Well, guess what? They have 2 million subscribers, 8 million subscribers, or whatever. They're obviously doing something right. If their content's relatively good, then there's something that you can learn from that. It's not all formulaic. There are some unfair advantages that people have on YouTube. There are some algorithm issues that you can experience, but such is life. There are only so many views that you can get. There are only so many millions of people on YouTube. So at the end of the day, why are they watching your video instead of X, Y, and Z's video? Are you putting the same type of effort into your content that other people are? And if you are, or more, then you can't get upset about that because you cannot get upset about factors you can't control. You can't control the YouTube algorithm. So there's no point in being upset about that if you can't change it. You can only change the amount of effort that you put in. And that should be motivating. It shouldn't be upsetting. You just pick apart the problem one piece at a time. Maybe you should use clickbait and see what happens. I don't know. If it's against your moral compass, you obviously haven't tried every single thing to be successful, so then why are you on your high horse? Why are you better than using clickbait strategies that every single successful YouTuber uses? But anyway, so that's pretty much it for me. Today is July 1st. You will see me again on the 8th of July with another video out. If you like the video, then why not share it with a friend or family member? If you haven't subscribed yet, the subscribe button's up here. I do have a subscription goal of 100 subscribers. I want to hit that goal so I could change the URL of my channel to Zip Productions. For those of you who are on social media, one way you can help is by sharing this on your favorite social media site if that's something that you'd like to do. Other than that, once again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week. I go from a pretty skinny, tan kid who didn't wear glasses to a lighter skinned dude, a little chubby, and wearing glasses all the time. People in high school noticed, oh hey, TJ got a little bit fat, he's wearing glasses now, interesting. He looks a lot different from high school, but they could still recognize who I am.